Hi everyone, I'm doing a quick video that's been highly requested to do on my poll on the gram. It's basically how I tell men I'm transgender, because I don't necessarily tell them right off the bat. I do it in my own time because I'm allowed to. So how I do it and how I go about it is as follows. I tend to speak to said guy for a couple of hours sometimes, or a day or two before we get to meeting, because I like to meet them as soon as, just to see if we're compatible, regardless of me being trans or not, but just see the compatibility, because everyone can throw on a facade behind a screen. So I like to talk to them as much as I can via phone and meet them as quickly as I can. What I do is as follows, is that I gauge how they're going to be by their personality and stuff like that. I'm always in a safe space, and sometimes I do it after the date. Sometimes I do it during the date. It really depends on if we're getting frisky or not. I don't necessarily tell men I'm trans if it's PG-13 kind of frisky, making out and all that good stuff, because they're making out with a girl and that's what I am. Because I'm pre-op, I have to tell them if it's gonna end up in the bedroom, which men are very persistent, and if they're worthy of that, then I will say it before getting to that stage. I've never ever been rejected for as long as I've been this way. Even when I didn't present as identify as a girl, I was never rejected. I think on a handful of times they've always if it's not for them, they've parted ways in a respectful manner. Nothing egregious, nothing violent, nothing of that nature. I've had people try and out me while I've been on a date from people that know me from online or word of mouth. So that's not very safe, and it's illegal to out someone. So don't do that, don't be a dick. But sometimes, now more so than ever, I do message that I'm trans. It's because I can't be bothered to do that conversation, because it's so awkward, especially when it's during. I rarely ever tell them after the date. I have done that sometimes, but mostly during date, because I want them to meet me for me, this pretty cunty woman has a great personality. So yeah, it's just really awkward when we're having a lot of fun during the date. I'm just oh, by the way, I wasn't born a girl, but I'm still cute. I can't be asked sometimes, so I sometimes do drop it via text before we meet up, especially if they're traveling to see me, which men have traveled to see me a couple hours. So yeah. So funny story is, my friend Ruby, hi Ruby, I basically, the first time I ever met her, I accidentally, kinda, not really, brought back a group of guys with her to my pad, and that's the first time we ever met. We had a night out, and I don't know where the other men was, but the man I was interested in, he was sandwiched in between me and Ruby. So me, hot guy, and then Ruby. So after the night ends and everything, and we're just drinking and whatever, and keeping the party and the momentum up in my house, I literally have a conversation with him while Ruby is there, and I'm just so LGBT stuff, and the gay stuff, how my friend is trans and everything, how do you feel about that? And she was mortified. The guy was there, I look back, she looks back at me, and I'm oh crap. So I kind of outed her as a joke, but she's fine with it. It was just, it's a hilarious story that we look back on, but I've done that. And he's been fine. It's all good. Men are ingrained to not attack a woman. So if you pass like me, 9 times out of 10 you're safe. Don't ever poke the bear, but men are deeply ingrained to not attack a woman. So there's that. I've never had a violent outburst. I've just had dickheads around me. Dickheads that slide into your DM. So that's how I tell men I'm trans.